Hey everyone, it's Anna Runyon, and I'm here to kick off our Instagram planning challenge here today. Day one of the challenge starts right now. I'm also kicking off my official return from maternity leave. So that's exciting because it's been a little while. I'm a little rusty on Facebook Lives, on Zoom, and all that stuff. But I'm excited to be back. You guys know me coming back. I was just telling my 4-year-old daughter this yesterday because I was telling her I'm going back to work tomorrow, and she started to cry. And I was like, no, don't worry. I'm not like leaving the house. As you can see, like I'm still in the house. You'll still see me a lot. My husband and I are switching off watching our 3-month-old Sienna. And as you can see behind me, we had family over this past weekend. And apparently my office becomes the guest room. So working from home life, this is what happens. Thanks for joining me. If you're here, say hi. Let me know in the comments. If you're joining me, let me know what phase you're in of corporate rescue plan. Callie is here. Hi, Callie. Hi, Marwan. Hi, Heather. Thanks so much for joining me. Wanted to give a big shout out also to all of you guys who are posting your Instagram challenge worksheets. It's been so fun to wake up this morning and see all of your beautiful faces and sharing the little, the little worksheet that we put together here for you guys to create your plan. Heather, I just saw yours pop up. Shout out to you and Shalat and Kelly and Callie. I saw Katarina's come through this morning and Lisa and Quinn's came through this morning. I think Anna Harrison, I think you were our first one to post yesterday, and Dina. So shout out to all you guys for sharing your selfies with your worksheet and to like get us all excited for this challenge. So I put together a little outline. I always have a little outline that I go through on these little trainings. So that should be in the Facebook Live text. So you can check out the outline if you want to follow along with me. Make sure you download the PDF if you haven't already downloaded the PDF, this little thing that walks you through what we're going to walk through each day. So it's a 5-day challenge. So every day we're going to just focus on one thing. Today we're going to focus on planning out your time. Got a lot of questions about why Instagram, like why should we focus on Instagram right now? And I will tell you, this is why I'm so excited, is because every year, I kind of have not every year, sometimes it's like 2 years I focus on one social media platform. Like when I first started in 2010, I was super focused on Twitter because that was the only thing that was out there. And then, I changed to Facebook around 2012, 2013, and then 2014 and 15, I was all in on Pinterest, and it was incredible for my business. But as you can see, things change, and you have to be ready to adapt to changes that are happening in social media and the digital landscape. And right now, when I was on maternity leave, I, obviously stepped back a little bit. I didn't work, and I just kind of assessed. And I just thought about, like, what do I want to focus on when I come back? Because I can't be everywhere. My time is even more limited than it was before with just one kid. Now I have 2 children. And so I have to be very hyper-focused on social media of like, what's the most important thing to focus on. And for me, it's just the obvious choice right now. I'm recording this in October 2018. If you look at the stats for Instagram today, there are nearly 1 billion monthly active Instagram users. Brands are seeing higher engagement rates, 10 times higher on Instagram than Facebook. 60% of users are learning about new products through Instagram. There are more than 400 million users watching Instagram stories on a daily basis. Most likely your ideal clients are on there, they're scrolling. And so it's important to be there. And now is a really, really great time. You don't have to spend a ton of money. Over on Facebook, we're realizing Facebook's great. I love Facebook groups. We're recording this in the Facebook group. I'm doing a Facebook Live. I'm still going to be using those strategies for sure, Facebook groups and Facebook Lives, but it is changing. It's definitely changing. You have to pay a little bit more to get your posts seen. And we're not seeing that as much on Instagram right now. Instagram is still a really great place that you can organically grow an audience without spending a ton of money, which is why I wanted to kick it off with the Instagram challenge, coming back here from leave. And I'm also doing it with you. As you can see, I've done day 1 and day 2 already, trying to stay one day ahead of you, because I'm trying to do this challenge for my own personal account, my Anna Runyon account. Classy Career Girl is doing great. If you haven't checked out that Instagram account, that's doing great. We're kind of rebranding it in November, so it'll be fun to follow along on that one. That's our business account. But I really want to grow up my own personal account, kind of like my personal brand account, because to me, that's where I want to post a lot of like stories that are unique to me and motherhood, and more about me, more cute baby photos, right? And just more, it's kind of like a blog to me, that Instagram account, and I've been very bad at posting daily on it. So you guys are encouraging me. I'm right there with you. I know the struggles of having no idea what to say, and having no idea what picture to post, and being overwhelmed by Instagram. I mean, for me, that's my Anna Runyon account. Classy Career Girl account, that one's doing great. That one, Raven is helping me with as well. We have a good strategy, good plan. It's growing amazingly. We just passed 30,000 followers on that one. So I'm excited to share with you what I know about the Classy Career Girl and how we've grown that to 30,000, but then also kind of do this with you and know the struggles that you're going through when it comes to putting yourself out there, building your confidence, and pushing publish, right? Knowing what the heck you should even say. So that is why Instagram is the focus right now, focus of this challenge. A couple ground rules. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I know we have more people who are joining us right now, so let me know what phase you're at in CRP if you're just joining. Charlotte's here. Hi, Charlotte. Raven. Hey, Abby. All you guys are doing awesome on Instagram. Okay, so ground rules, first of all, and I'm speaking to myself here, no wasting time scrolling on Instagram. I know I do it. You just get bored and you're just like, you can't focus. And so you just start scrolling, and we're just wasting so much time when we're just scrolling. So instead, use that time maybe to create some content, or to schedule your own posts, or to publish your own posts rather than consuming. So creating instead of consuming this week. Just focus on this week. Track how much time you're just spending scrolling. No getting jealous of other accounts. No negative thoughts saying, I can't do this, and being like, how does that person have 500,000 followers? I'll never be able to get there. Trust me, I started with 1 follower one day too, and I had the same thoughts. And now we're at 30,000 Instagram followers for Classy Career Girl. So like everyone who was at 500,000, they started at 1 too. So no negative thoughts like that. And also important is that you want to make sure that you're not just focused on posting content on Instagram alone, because just that is not going to grow your business. Unfortunately, you have to make sure that you're also using a lot of the foundational lessons that we teach you in Corporate Rescue Plan. So just creating content all day long is not going to grow your business. So I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that too. This is a great fun challenge that we're going to do. We're going to focus in on Instagram and help you, really put a great plan together for Instagram. But just know that you need to keep going through CRP too. You need to go through your phase. This does not replace any phases or any content in CRP. And that is because having a website, having an email list, doing your market research, all this stuff through the phases is so important. And we can't just rely on one social media strategy to grow our business. Like I said, things have changed so much for my business since 2010. So you always have to be ready to adapt. But the things that haven't changed are that website and that email list. So those are 2 very, very important things you still want to make sure you focus on, as well as building your business's brand on Instagram. Okay, sorry for the gardener, guys. Could he have started at the worst time, right? Like right when we started. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys there. So I want to get started with our day 1's action. And I'm going to share, in case you guys, let's see here, I'm going to share this with you so we can kind of walk through this together. When I see, I've been gone too long. I forget how Zoom works here. Okay, so this is the outline that we kind of have to go over with you guys to get together. And what we're going to do for this challenge, so every day I'm going to post something on Instagram these 5 days, and your job, if you want to be entered to win a prize of our physical 90-day planners that are going to be coming out here soon. They're not even available for purchase yet. So the winner will be randomly chosen. You have to post every 5 days. You have to post every day of these 5 days in the comments to be entered to win. And so every day we're going to focus on one thing of your strategy plan. So for example, today we're talking about how to plan your time. Time is a big one because sometimes it feels like you don't have enough time to do Instagram. So one of the questions that I ask you on our worksheet here is, when will you create your Instagram posts each week and how often will you post? And so the one that I said is, I will post on my profile every weekday, and I will schedule 5 posts per week every Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. So this way, you know, you have a plan going into the week, you know what you're going to post, and you're batching your time. So that'll be one of these. I'm going to go over 5 quick tips for you on how you can plan your time a little bit better. So the first one is quality, way better than quantity. Post on your profile less and your Instagram stories more. This is huge because Instagram's getting very crowded right now. Social media is getting crowded. There's so much noise. So, and this is something we're changing too. We're posting twice a day on our Classy Career Girl account every day. November 1st, we're going to change to 1 post every weekday. We're decreasing by half the amount that we're posting, and we're putting way more effort and attention into making it better quality, more engaging. So people are going to be commenting more. Maybe they're going to be clicking like more, or if there's a carousel picture, maybe they're going to be scrolling more, or maybe it's going to tell them to go check out our stories so they can interact with us and ask us questions in our Instagram stories. So what's happened with Instagram is stories, Instagram stories. People are watching stories way more than looking in the profiles. And that's because with stories, it's way more personable. It's, you're not going to edit a picture for 10 hours because it's just going to be a quick shoot that you're going to take, and it's going to be more real life behind the scenes. People like that, right? Like, who wants to look at a picture of a beautiful photo on the beach of Hawaii that's edited and perfect, and you're like, that's not my life, right? So quality is better than quantity. If you're stressed about Instagram, try posting less and just put more work into making 1 post really good. Like, I would rather have you post 1 time a week than 20 times a crappy post. Like, just 1 post that's very, very engaging. And then use your stories more all throughout the day, just to document what you're doing behind the scenes. So Heather asked, this week I will plan for 1 post daily. I will schedule my posts on Fridays from 10 to 2. And this is great too. I want you batching. I want you to be scheduling your posts so it's not wasting time. Like, this is not, posting on Instagram is not a revenue generating activity. A revenue generating activity is talking on the phone with your ideal client. And when you're on Instagram, you're not necessarily making an income at the end of that hour that you're done. So I want you to limit the time that you're spending doing that. Okay? So Heather asks, what is the benefit to posting to stories rather than the feed? I never actually use the stories. Should I be using that instead? Okay, I am going to put on headphones right now because the gardener. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hear them. Let me know if you can hear the gardener here. I am like a person that gets like completely off track if there's outside noise or distractions. So can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Katarina says she loves Instagram stories. Katarina is doing a great job on Instagram stories. John says, can you make the page bigger? Yes, I can make the page bigger. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay. So let me know if you can hear me here. Okay. Quality is better than quantity. What is the benefit of using stories rather than the feed? I never actually use the stories. Should I be using that instead? Yes. So, okay, Charlotte, thank you. Oh, you guys couldn't hear the gardener. Okay, Tia says she can't hear the gardener. Okay, so it was just something I was hearing and it was driving me crazy, but you can hear me now. So we're moving on. Okay, benefit of using stories rather than the feed. It shows the behind the scenes, goes away after 24 hours, but it's more engaging. So people are seeing, you can do like Q&As, you can ask a question, you can interact. And the best part for us is once you get over 10,000 followers, you can tell people to swipe up. And so there's actually a direct link that can go to your website. And this is really beneficial because on your Instagram profile, you have to go click the link in my bio, and it's really hard to link to get people to go to your website. So for example, earlier today, I was talking about this Instagram challenge and I did an Instagram story and I can just say swipe up and put the URL in, and then people can just come directly to that page. So there's a huge benefit to getting over 10,000 followers. That should be your goal if it is not already, because then you have a really great way to get website traffic to your website or to your sales page or whatever it is that you are promoting or talking about. So that's the big thing of stories. People are just watching stories more. People want, it's kind of like TV these days, right? It's real life. It's behind the scenes, and people are watching more stories than they are going through their feed. And Instagram knows this too. They're starting to put some ads into those stories too, because they know more people are watching them. So test it out. They're fun. They go away in 24 hours. To me, it takes the pressure off. You're less worried about posts having to be perfect. Because like I said, on your profile is the first thing people see when they come to your website. So you do need to put a little bit more extra time into doing a great post and a great, the text underneath it as well. Like I would not just rush through your posts and try and get them up quickly. Put some time into it and make sure that you're asking a question, that you're engaging, that it's going to be something that you're going to be proud of. I think that's the biggest thing for me coming back from maternity leave. Like I want the content that we start putting out starting November 1st. That's like kind of my date in my head. I want the content that we put out to be something I'm really proud of and not to be part of the noise. There's just so much noise, but to spend more time creating the better content, but less content. Okay, so my second tip is batching your content creation once per week and giving yourself a short amount of time to do it quickly. So this is important because I know for me, I can waste a lot of time. I can spend a whole day creating Instagram images on Canva. Anyone else love Canva and creating images on Canva? And the negative part about that is like I said, it's not revenue generating. This is not creating content, is not going to get you a sale this week. It's going to be a long-term strategy for your brand, long-term. I am so glad in 2014 that I focused on Instagram, because now it's 2018 and my brand is doing great on Instagram, but it's because I put in that time. I didn't make a penny from it in 2014, but now it's generating revenue for us. And so it's a really good long-term strategy, but you don't want to, you want to put the time that you put into it in a short amount of time, and you want to do it quickly. So like set a timer to create the content, to write the content, and do less. Less is more, right? Like do less posts in a shorter amount of time. Now, the only caveat here is Charlotte asked it. She goes by inspiration. So she's going to start planning her posts. She said, is it best to prepare posts at the beginning or end of the week? I like doing it on Sundays just because then I was like planned out for the week. Right now we're planning out the entire month in advance. So I have a plan for all of November.
for Classy Career Girl of what we're going to be posting every day and how it's going to coordinate back with our blog post calendar and our Facebook calendar. So if you're interested in seeing our editorial calendar at Classy Career Girl, let me know in the comments. It's definitely something that I can share with you guys if you'd like to see how we plan like a month in advance. But if you're just starting, and how I started when I was doing this is just a week in advance, and I would do it on Sundays. But now, I'm like Shala when it comes to my personal Honor Running account. I like posting spur of the moment, and I go by inspiration. So there's two different categories here. So if you go by inspiration, and that there's nothing wrong with it, that can be one of your answers. When will you create your post each week? I just want to make sure that one, if you go by inspiration, that it's not you're not being overwhelmed and you're not putting out something that's not high quality. Usually when you plan ahead, that's why we do a lot of planning here at Classy Career Girl. Everything is all about planning. Usually when you plan ahead, you will have a higher quality post. You'll create something that you're prouder of, you're more proud of. But if that's not you, if you can knock out really great content spur of the moment, then maybe maybe every day you set out some time where you're going to post. I know for me, since I go by inspiration for my Honor Running account, usually that means I never post. So if that's you, if going by inspiration means that you tend not to make time to post, then scheduling ahead of time and batching ahead of time is probably a good idea for you. I know my goal is going to be every day trying to have a little bit of time every day to write, and that's what I'm going to use for my Honor Running account. But our Classy Career Girl account, because that's more of like the business account, that we're planned out a month in advance, and that also right now is there's a couple different people who have their hands in. Like I am planning the calendar, but then Laura helps us with creates a lot of the images. I'm doing a lot of the photography. Raven is helping me with the scheduling, and so we need to be a month out in advance. Actually, Raven would prefer that we're like 3 months out in advance. That's how good of a like scheduler and planner she is. But I go by inspiration, so it's a little bit harder to do it that far out in advance. But if you know what's going to go on your blog over the next month, if you know, and you should, right? Like you should start planning that far ahead of time. Maybe we'll have to do like a blog marketing plan next, or marketing challenge or something like that, because to me, it really is all about the planning ahead. At least having some sort of like topic that you're going to post, having some sort of like for me, and I'll show you what my later account looks like right now, because I just have the images. It's actually the next tip on number 3. This is what my later, these are images that I have not posted yet on my Classy Career Girl image, on my Honor Running Instagram account. So this is later. It's one of the scheduling systems I recommend. Number 3, scheduling systems like Planoly and Later can be really helpful. I've not used Planoly. I love Later. You can use it for free if you only schedule, I think it's like 20 posts a month or something, or maybe it's more now. But I love it because you can drag and drop. And because these top 9 images are so important on your profile, because that's the first thing people see of whether they want to follow you or not. So it's really important to make sure all the pictures look great together. And so, same colors, kind of like you can tell this is like a photo shoot we had, but I mixed it in with some flowers and a laptop. And so these are the posts that are coming, and I do not know what the text is going to be. And so that's where each day I need to have that quiet time for myself so I can create a mini blog post that's going to go with the photo. So I have the photo, and each day will carve out that time. Hopefully now, as with you guys holding me accountable, I will carve out that time to post every day on my Honor Running account. So hopefully that helps to kind of see what that looks like. My 4th tip for you, take the time you spend scrolling every day, start using that time for engaging with other accounts instead. The 5th thing that we're going to do is on our challenge is to plan your engagement strategy. So on Friday, that's when we will talk about how to engage with other accounts. But for now, just stop scrolling and start, you can interact with people who are commenting on your Instagram profile, or you can go find your ideal clients. We'll talk about that on Friday, how to find your ideal clients on Instagram, and start using the time you might be wasting, start using it to grow your brand instead. Number 5, to save time each week, document what you're doing instead of creating brand new content. I don't know if CJ is with us. I haven't seen her come up, but she had a question about this. She wanted me to elaborate on this tip about how to document what you're doing instead of creating brand new content. And so what this means is it's a lot of the behind the scenes. So it's a lot of like, say I'm putting together a blog post, and actually I am. This is a great example. On November 4th, in our editorial calendar, we're going to come out with our top 10 planners for 2019. It's every year we do this post. Every year, our readers look forward to it. Every year we get planners sent to our office to review. It's just kind of become our staple in the industry of reviewing planners and giving our top 10 list every year. So one of the things I've been doing is I've been documenting when we get planners in. I've been, going behind the scenes and opening up the box and showing people the planners and showing my review of the planner or how I'm using it. It could be, I'm showing behind the scenes, we're putting our 90-day planner, we're making it a physical, and this isn't it, this is the old one. The physical one isn't actually available yet, but we're taking this and making it into an even like smaller hardcover planner. And so documenting that, like what we're doing, how it's coming along, the steps it takes. It's really thinking like every day of what you're doing. If maybe you got off the phone with a client and they told you something and it made you realize like all your audience needs to hear about this, right? All your audience needs, this happened to me the other day, like someone was saying they were scared to put themselves out there. They had a lot of fear. And I talked to them about that fear and getting over it. That's something my entire audience needs to know. So I could turn around like right after that call is done and kind of document what I talked about with my client and how that could help everyone who's listening too on an Instagram story, or you could do an Instagram live or an IGTV. There's a lot of different things. If you want me to go over later on, let me know if you want me to go over kind of like all the different features of Instagram. Maybe when we're done with the challenge. And I'm toying with this. You guys are very, very interested in Instagram. So in November, I'm thinking maybe we'll continue this theme because there's been so many questions coming in from you guys. So let me know if you want to continue this Instagram theme for CRP into November. And so those are some ideas for you, CJ, about how you can document. Like it could just be, it could be documenting your life too. Maybe you're out to lunch at one of your favorite restaurants. You're documenting, it's building that trust and that relationship with people who are watching. And remember, I talk a lot about this in CRP. People are going to buy from someone that they trust and that they know. And I always tell people this when people are like trying to put out, they're trying to sell right away and, buy my course. I always tell people, how many times did you interact with Classy Career Girl or with me, or how many of my videos did you watch? How many blog posts did you read? How many Instagram posts did you read? How many times did you interact with me in some way, somehow, before you joined Corporate Rescue Plan, before you joined this Instagram challenge? You have to think there's so many different types of content. It could be, like maybe you downloaded one of our cheat sheets or our planners, or there's so many ways that I started to build a trust and a relationship with you. And that's what you can do by documenting. That's what you can do when it comes to your Instagram stories, where your Instagram post might not be, you might not take a picture of your food on your Instagram profile anymore. And maybe you did way back many, many years ago. But today you're not going to do that, right? Because it doesn't fit your brand or your photos. But your Instagram stories behind the scenes, documenting your lunch, maybe what you're talking about, it's just being aware all the time of what's going on. So those are my 5 tips for you today. What's next? We have day 2 tomorrow, where we're going to talk about planning your brand, and we're going to answer the question, what message and values do you want your brand to communicate? Day 3, we're going to plan your bio, help you put together your elevator pitch so people are very interested right away when they come to your profile. And on day 4, we're going to talk about your content. What stories can you share that will inspire, teach, or connect with your audience? And day 5, so that's day 4 is going to help you know like what you should actually post. And then day 5, how will you engage with your ideal clients on Instagram? This has been a big question I've been receiving from a lot of people, is like, how do I know how to find my ideal clients? How do I know where they are? How do I find them? Are they even on Instagram? And so we're going to talk about your engagement strategy on Friday. I do not think I have the bandwidth to go live every single day, guys, for my first week back from maternity leave, unless I have my baby with me all week long. Because the truth is, like, we don't have childcare. So John and I are big believers of, just us and figuring it out, and we have my mom nearby. So we switch off. And so John is, I think he's in the garage with Sienna right now. I don't hear them crying. But I'm going to for sure come back on Friday, do another Facebook Live, and I'm going to review day 2 through 5 on Friday. That is my current plan. Now, if you guys have a ton of questions, if I get inspired, and if you need help with something, I could definitely see myself popping back in here on a Facebook Live earlier on in the week. But we shall see, right? I don't want to overcommit on my first week back from maternity leave. But I will in depth go through day 2, 3, 4, and 5, because I have a lot to say about each day of this challenge. It's so important. And then in each post that we do, so each post is going to go live at 7 a.m. Eastern each day. And in that post, I give you my tips. So like today, in today's post, I gave you the 5 tips that you need to know. So tomorrow, I'll give you those 5 tips that you need to know about how to plan your brand on Instagram, which is incredibly important. And then coming up to November's business growth bonus is legal mistakes business owners make. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew that. And also November, I'm thinking of, I'm considering doing some other fun stuff about helping you execute your Instagram plan. So this month we're creating your plan, right? You're going to have the plan, but you see, I'm not making you post a million times on Instagram. There's a lot of challenges out there where it's like, post this on Instagram and post this on Instagram. And instead, I want you to have that plan going in, because you're gonna do so much better when you're confident in your plan, when you know what to post, when you have your schedule down. And so that's why we're planning it out. But in November, I definitely have some things I've been thinking about helping you actually execute your Instagram plan as well. So, uh-oh, John says we're both crying. Uh-oh. Well, you're not supposed to tell me that my baby's crying. I'm gonna like lose it here. That's not good, John. That's not good. I think he's actually, he has to be kidding. So maybe I'll come back later on during the week and with Sienna. You guys can meet her. We can pop in and do another fun one of these. Katerina has been doing great about Instagram stories, and she left a great tip in the comments. She said, stories make it easy if you have a hard time remembering to do stories or don't know what to capture. Curate your stories when you get up. So have a plan when she wakes up. She knows her schedule and she decides what the message is going to be for that day. And she kind of documents herself working from a coffee shop or meeting with a friend or playing with her dog or whatever she does. So she kind of has it all planned out in the morning. So great tip. Okay. I think that is it. You guys are doing great. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. Feel free to ask them in this Facebook group. And we will see you guys later on this week. Good job. I love how much work you guys are putting into this challenge. So we'll see you guys later on this week. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.